Hello, and welcome to the first ever Missoula Dems Show. Hi, my name is Andy Nelson, chair of the Missoula County Democratic Party.
And I'm Allison Wilson, Missoula County Democrats organizer.
And we are coming to you from the MCAT studios here in downtown Missoula in the Missoula Public Library. We are going to be hosting a 1-hour talk show on MCAT's public station. So big thanks to MCAT for doing everything you do and providing these opportunities. Our goal is to provide public discourse, educate the community about what we're working on, provide educational opportunities, and have weekly guests on to interview, to learn what's happening in the community, how folks can get involved and more civically engaged. So, what do we do as Missoula County Democrats, Allison?
Yeah, so we operate as a central committee, which most counties in Montana have, and they're kind of the building blocks of the state party in Montana. Each central committee is made up of precinct captains, and each precinct has a male and female captain. We can have up to as many alternates as we'd like. But precinct captains are kind of the people in the know about what's going on in their neighborhood, what issues their neighbors are facing, and also about local politics, the elections coming up, who's running, and connect those bridges. We have monthly meetings. We meet on the second Wednesday of every month, and similar to this, we'll have an informal discussion beforehand. A guest speaker comes in, talks for about an hour, and then our actual meeting will start. We'll have business to attend to. Am I missing anything, Andy? Or?
You're covering it pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, so our goal here is to get more and more people engaged in what we're doing. And so, like Allison said, our central committee is made up of precinct people. There are 66 precincts in Missoula County. Every county has a different number depending on size. So that means when you consider each representative, there's the potential to be like 120 plus members of our central committee. And so if you have any interest in getting involved, we would love for you to come to our next meeting. My role as the chair of the Missoula County Democratic Party is to run the meetings. So we have monthly meetings where everybody comes and takes part. We also have executive board meetings. So we have an executive board made up of 10 people, the chair, the vice chair, secretary, treasurer, kind of like a regular nonprofit board. And other folks on the board, like they focus on more specific things like technology or programs. We have an amazing program selection. Like Allison said, every month prior to our monthly meeting, we have a special guest speaker. Yeah. Last month was Dina Mansour from the Mansfield Center that gave a really great lecture on what the Mansfield Center does. We've had all kinds of other great speakers talk about like indigenous issues, environmental work, local politicians, all kinds of great speakers. And so, back to my role, I kind of just oversee what we do. I call some of the shots, but we are a democratic group. That's very important. So we make most of our decisions democratically as a group. And our ultimate goal as a Democratic Central Committee is to get good Democratic candidates elected. And we are coming up on 2 big elections this year, the primary, which is on June 2nd. So make sure you're registered to vote. We'll come back to that later. But we're really busy these days because we've got some really big fish to fry in this big election year. So Allison, what do you do as our organizer?
Yeah, so I am our only paid full-time employee with the Missoula County Democrats. I started this past August, and I kind of jokingly tell people that I'm a glorified volunteer coordinator. I meet with people that want to get involved with the Democrats or have questions about us and try to listen really well to what they're interested in and create ways for them to volunteer. a lot of times people think to be involved in politics, you have to go door knocking, and that work only happens during election time. But this is a year-long process, year after year, to get Democrats elected. And there's many other ways to contribute other than working on campaigns. We do things like attend other events like parades in town, the Western Montana Fair, where we're able to talk about the candidates running, but also just more about our central committee as well. So those are some of the things that I help out with as an organizer. If anyone watching would like to get involved, reach out to us, and I will probably be the first person you meet. We'll go grab coffee, and we'll just talk about what's going on in the state of the world and what we can do about it.
Allison, where can folks go to research us? We have a website. What is it?
It is MissoulaDemocrats.org, and there is a contact form on that main page that you can fill out. We also have a volunteer form. If you're kind of know what you're ready to do, you can fill that out. And just a ton of info on there from all the candidates running, how to reach out to your state legislator during sessions. It's basically a hub for your starting point for getting civically engaged
Love
with
that.
the Democrats. Mm-hmm.
And again, our mission here is to get more people civically engaged. Because I firmly believe that if people just become more active in their communities, it's going to solve a lot of the issues we have as a society. Would you agree with me?
I agree.
Okay.
Local's where it's at, and most of your problems in the everyday happen at the local level.
Yeah.
And we can take a lot of control back when we remind ourselves.
Totally. And when I'm talking to people, I usually try to get the point across that, like, we as Americans, I think, pay way more attention to what's going on at the national level than what's going on at the state level or what's going on at the county level or the city level. And the more hyper-local it gets, the more it actually impacts you.
Yeah.
So, like, our state legislators and the laws they make every 2 years during the session probably are impacting our day-to-day lives more than, let's face it, some of the crazy stuff our president does on a daily basis. So, as frustrating as that is, we should really pay attention to what's going on at city council, what's going on with the county commissioners, what's going on in the state legislature. But before I get too far off on a tangent, I want to invite interested folks to our monthly meetings, which Allison said are on the second Wednesday of every month. The next one will be June 10th at the Gallagher Business Building at the University of Montana, which is just off of Arthur and Eddie, I believe.
Yes.
In room 123. So on the first floor of the Gallagher Business Building on the University of Montana campus. It's a big lecture hall room. It's worked really well. We'll have a guest speaker starting at 6 o'clock. Our guest speaker, which I'm really excited about, is Carrie Hong. She's an immigration attorney, and she knows her stuff. I've listened to her speak before. Really fascinating and timely. With, what the ICE agency has been up to in recent months for far too long, in my opinion. Like what went down in Minnesota, what's going on with Trump's deportation efforts. I think this will be a really timely and important discussion for people to come listen to. So all are welcome. Come listen to Carrie Hong from 6 to 7, Gallagher Business Building, and then our monthly meeting to follow. What else do we got for upcoming events?
Well, we are gearing up for the primary election on June 2nd. So something our central committee is putting on is some get out the vote phone banks and text banking. So on Sunday, May 31st from 2 to 5 p.m., we are meeting at Good Works Ventures at 129 West Alder Street. You can stop in whatever time works for you in between the hours of 2 and 5, and we'll get you set up. Bring your phone and a laptop if you have one, and you can start calling some of your neighbors just to remind them to turn in their ballot. And we'll be doing the same thing on Monday, June 1st from 4 to 7 p.m. But this time, instead of in person, it will be on Zoom. So you could do it at home, cook dinner while you're doing it, wear your pajamas, whatever. It's super easy. If you've never phone banked before, definitely recommend you try it out. You have some really fun conversations, and text people, leave voicemails, and make sure they get their ballots in on time. We'll be focusing on a couple House districts where we have Democratic primaries going on. So that's House District 92, 93, and 94. Because it's really important to remind people on big election years like this that there are down ballot races that they can be participating in. And they might not always have info on those candidates and who they relate to best. So we'll also be sharing some info that's on our website again, where they can see a candidate questionnaire that all those legislative candidates filled out. So lead them that direction if they have any questions. And and then June 2nd primary, when do you have to get your ballot in by that day? If you're mailing it, and then in person.
Yeah. So once again, get this date circled in red on your calendar. The primary election day is June 2nd. It's a mail-in election, but do not, I repeat, do not mail your ballot after this coming Monday, which is, gotta look at my calendar, May 25th. Because if you mail it on May 25th or after, the possibility of it not getting counted is pretty high. So if that's the case, after Monday, you'll want to hand deliver it to your elections office. There's also some new things we need to pay attention to. So after you vote, fill in those bubbles as dark as possible, put it in the security envelope, then put the security envelope in the envelope on the exterior of the big envelope. There's 3 things you need to do. Otherwise, your ballot won't get counted. You need to sign it, you need to date it, and then you need to put your birth year on it. If those 3 things aren't done, they will throw your ballot out and it will be discarded. This is a law now that was passed by the last Montana legislative session. It was a Republican effort, so I view this as a form of voter suppression because we know at this point in time, nearly 700 ballots have already been thrown out of people who have voted early in the state of Montana. So this was intentional, but who's to say if those are Republican, Democrat, Independent, we don't know.
Right.
But what's frustrating is those are people that went out of their way to vote. And unfortunately, because of this extra step, some votes aren't getting counted. So we are telling everybody we know that is voting to make sure to fill out those 3 things on your ballot.
Yeah. They keep changing the rules of voting, and it affects all of us, no matter the party. Having to remember all these steps.
Yeah, and it's always good if you're hand delivering your ballot or registering to vote, have forms of identification with you, multiple, just to be safe. What other important voting facts should we?
Well, primaries a little strange because you get all 3 ballots. I don't know if we mentioned that yet.
Correct.
But your envelope is going to be a little thicker when you receive it, and you're only allowed to vote on 1 ballot. So you have to pick, I think there's Republican, Democrat, and then Libertarian. Only return 1 of those. You can only use 1, and then you can just throw the other ones in the trash.
Right.
Which, so that's a fun primary election thing. And then something that you can do, which I did earlier today, is track your ballot. I got a little paranoid that maybe I did not put my birth date on the envelope. And so I went to the Secretary of State's website and entered my full name, date of birth, and then they have a button on the side that says track your ballot. And that is voterportal.mt.gov. So if you sent your ballot in the mail a little bit ago or just want to see where it's at, maybe you never got your ballot, you should go there and check and see if you're registered to vote and what you can do.
Yeah.
Now, if you aren't registered to vote, can you go on election day and do that?
You sure can.
Okay.
Yeah, up till 8 o'clock p.m. So as long as you're in line at the elections office, you can register to vote day of. There was actually a bill passed by Republicans last session to prevent same-day voter registration. That was, I believe the term is enjoined. It's a legal term, I don't know. Something happened in the court and people can now register to vote day of again in Montana.
Yay.
Take advantage of that if you need to. However, we always encourage folks to vote early because you never know what could happen. Maybe your boss doesn't let you leave work. Maybe you get an offender bender. Who knows?
Stomach flu.
Some people love that tradition. Stomach flu, yeah. I've been there. Some people love that tradition of going into the voting booth day of. You know, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I like to prevent risks when possible. So.
Yeah, I get my ballot and just fill it out and send it in the mail right away.
Same.
Scared I'll forget. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's probably enough about the. Well, let's talk about who's on the ballot. There's a lot, like Allison said, you're going to get 3 ballots. You pick the one that you want to vote for people on. That's your choice. We recommend the Democrats. But on our Democratic ballot, we're going to have the Senate race, the 1st congressional race, which is the Western District. Montana has 2 representatives in Congress post 2020 census. We used to have 1.
Just 1.
What else do we have? We've got judicial nonpartisan races, which Democrats do not endorse because we don't believe in politicizing judicial races.
Right.
What else is on there? There's a lot of local.
Those nonpartisan races, go down to the local level. There's Justice of the Peace. I think that's pretty much, there's 2 Justice of the Peace races.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the top, the ones that we know about, a lot about. The Senate race, you're going to have 5 candidates on it. You're going to have Riley Neal, Alani Bankhead, Michael Hummert, Michael Blackwolf, and Christopher Keogh. Yep, 5 candidates to vote for. You can learn more about those candidates by going to our website. Allison did a really good job of building out this page. So it's MissoulaDemocrats.org/candidates. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Great. So you can learn more about those 5. Another important race, which we Missoula Dems have put a lot of time, focus, and energy into, is the MT1 congressional race. Why? Because we believe that we have the potential to flip it from red to blue. So the 1st congressional district, which is the western kind of third of Montana, all the way up to Libby, down through Kalispell, Whitefish, Missoula, Butte, over to Bozeman, down through Beaverhead County, and Ravalli, is currently held by Ryan Zinke, who we don't like very much. But he's retiring. And there's an open primary for Democrats and Republicans. And so we believe that there's a possibility that Democrats can win this seat this time over. It's a heated primary on both sides. We have 4 incredible candidates, I will say. They're all fantastic, running as the Democrats in this race. So we got Russell Cleveland, Sam Forstag, Ryan Bussey, and Matt Raines on those ballots. Again, you can learn more about those candidates by going to MissoulaDemocrats.org/candidates. Or you could go to MCAT's YouTube channel, because I know they put on the congressional forum that we hosted at the University of Montana a few weeks back, where all 4 candidates were present and made their pitch for why they want to represent us in Congress. What else? Anything more we should talk about? The ballot, the races?
Don't want to say anything about Supreme Court, probably.
Nah.
Okay.
Okay, we're good there.
Cool.
Well, I've got a fun tidbit of information that I want to talk about. So I was really lucky to get to hang out with Pete Buttigieg this
No
last
way.
weekend. Yeah. A friend called and was like, I'm picking up Pete Buttigieg from the airport and driving him to Butte for the lecture he's giving. Would you like to join like 10 of us for dinner? Yes, I would. Big fan of Pete here. So I got to join this group of people for dinner with Pete, who I love. And I just got to say, like, the guy is so smart, incredibly smart, but also like for a big national politician like that, just so personable. Like he intentionally went around the table and spent like equal amounts of time listening and talking to each person at that table.
That's so nice.
And you know, there was people way more important than me, like former Senator John Tester at that table, and the mayor of Missoula at that, but like he's still like, I just feel, like he took the time with everybody, was interested in knowing what we had to talk about, what our issues are in Montana. And anyway, I just got that privilege and was very honored to be invited. But the reason Mr. Buttigieg was here in Montana was because he has endorsed the Transparent Election Initiative, also known as the Montana Plan. If you haven't heard of this yet, listen up because it's really important. So the Transparent Election Initiative, also known as the Montana Plan, is a citizens' initiative being put forth by the people of Montana to get dark money out of politics. You hear that term a lot, dark money in politics. Millions and millions of dollars funnel into Montana. In 2024 alone, in the Senate race, there was like upwards of $20 million that came from everywhere. Billionaires, corporate PACs, all those kind of like not so great groups that we don't really like influencing our elections, right? And the reason this was made possible was because of a Supreme Court case, Citizens United, back in 2010, which totally changed the game of politics and basically made it so not equitable,
Every year since then, our elections have gotten more expensive.
Right.
Argued that corporations have free speech, which is weird.
Right. That's what Citizens United said is corporations are people too.
Yeah.
Which we don't believe in.
No.
But it's the law.
Yeah. So I used to do signature gathering for citizens initiatives, and it's a pretty intensive process. But you probably get stopped on the street a lot, but it's really important to, if you have a moment, to stop and listen and see if it's the Transparent Election Initiative and something that you do want to see on your ballot. And it's a very careful process. Look at the directions, because your signature can get thrown out if you put the wrong date or you put your first name instead of your last name first. But yeah, they've been all around town. And then is there a way to request to sign the initiative on their website or anything like that?
Yeah, if you go online to the Transparent Election Initiative website, you can request to sign. And I haven't done that process yet, but you can do it that way. Yeah. Or literally walk downtown Missoula right now and you'll bump into somebody.
Totally.
And you can just sign your signature It's very quick and easy. Sometimes there's folks with initiatives here at the library I've ran into
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So they're out and about, at least now. But yes, make sure you know what you're signing for, because it could be an initiative that you don't really fully support. So make sure to pay attention
Totally.
what you're signing.
Yeah, but even though it can be a lot sometimes, some of them are really important. I think this Montana plan is one of them.
100%.
Yeah.
When it's passed, it will change the playing field in politics yet again for the better. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy that my hero, Pete
Yeah.
Buttigieg, came to Montana to support this plan, because it's pretty cool.
That's so awesome.
What else do we got, Allison? And I guess the key takeaway with the Montana plan is elections should not be for sale, which is what they are now. It seems like they go to the highest bidder, whoever has the most money, and it should be about the people.
Right. End of the day, that's democracy. It's our decision.
It's
Yeah.
up to the voters.
Yeah.
And with that, voters, please make sure you're registered to vote, and make sure to vote on June 2nd. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. See you next time.